What up, guys? It's weekend here. Actually, shoot, it's Friday. Coming back from a little bit of an emotional event here, and gonna go work off some energy in the shop. You know, I had a funeral for a family member today, and it's got my mind all wrapped up in stupid stuff, and I think it's time to put that to good use and get some work done and not think about that kind of stuff. So check it out. Not sure what I'm going to get into. I'll update you right now. What up? Back in work clothes. Jonathan's over there playing with robots. Got the dog. Watching Jonathan supervising like Caltrans.
Yeah, literally his name's Cal.
Oh, there you go. So, little bug action today. As you can see, new motor's in. Jonathan's been putting in some work late nights. Got the cage around it. Couple issues. Probably gonna have to make headers. And our supercharger bracket is no bueno. We clocked it every which way from Sunday and still doesn't give us the angle we need. So a little bit of work there. We're gonna put that plasma table to work. Here's our handy dandy bracket for the supercharger. Came out pretty bitchin'. We're gonna finish working on this dash here, get that thing cut out. Had a couple sample pieces, just fine tweaking. So you guys finally get to see this plasma table at work.
That's right. But they're not for this. So.
Oh yeah? Why do we got magnets?
Oh, fuck. Well, just for fun. Nah. Because as you start cutting, material's so thin, it warps. If it warps enough while you're cutting, it can actually, the torch can actually grab it and move it, shift it over enough to actually mess with the next cut. So you don't want it to warp, or you don't want it to come loose from the big sheet of material, because then all of a sudden, you know, then it's being drug over by the torch. So magnets.
Yeah.
Keep them down, you know?
All right, so the design's already in there from last time, but I had a couple tweaks, and we need to move this radio section. We actually thought it was centered, assumed it was centered, was not centered.
Made
the
an
radio, yeah, yeah.
Made an ass when you assume, right?
Ass out of you and me. Yep.
That's right.
So the radio in the car is actually off center, and to avoid making extra brackets and re-powder coating and all that crap, we're just gonna move this hole over probably 1/8 of an inch. We're gonna make the steering column hole a little bit bigger, and then you can see these little slots here. So we actually need to make a section for the Holly setup and the gauges. We're gonna make it pop out in your face, because the last one was kind of pointing straight out at you, and it was kind of a pain in the butt to see it. So we want to make it a little bit more user-friendly, a little bit more accessible. So we're going to program it, cut it, test fit it, see how far we get.
And by test fit it, fit it.
Yeah. If it don't fit, we're going to hammer it.
We're going to make it fit.
Yep.
So as you explained, this little circle, we're just going to move it down, 1/16 of an inch. Radio or intercom slot or whatnot, since he said it wasn't, you know, centered. We're actually going to move that 11/16 over to the right since it's off center. Other than that, everything else is pretty much gravy. We're going to go ahead and drill our Zeus fasteners and all that stuff in by hand, just because, well, I don't want to deal with
deburring
plasma holes and stuff like that, because, you know, that can turn into a pain in the butt. It could actually off center one of our holes if we don't do it right. So we're just gonna go ahead and knock it out this way and scroll on. Is this feature? Now I gotta remember how to do this because it's been a while. So here's our center. I'm gonna put a point at center.
So this is a ViaCAD software.
And actually this software, we went ahead and uploaded it to this one from my laptop. And on my laptop, we're actually using Bentech. And Bentech is another basically, you know, design program just like ViaCAD. The only difference is that I can make these changes on here without having to go back to my laptop because I haven't uploaded that software into here yet. So I can make changes off ViaCAD and then upload it back into the CNC, you know, programming that we do, and then go from there. So, but ViaCAD or Bentech, really awesome programs. If you don't think you're up for a crazy challenge, definitely go with ViaCAD. If you're down to do some crazy stuff, you can go with Bentech, and you have a lot more options to get into. But simplicity-wise, ViaCAD definitely handles. They both have their ins and outs where you're gonna have to learn how to do what, but at the end of the day, it works out pretty good. So from there to there. So now that we got that, we're gonna go ahead and finish off our lines, bring them up to here. And after we do that, endpoint, intersect, done. Endpoint, intersect, done. So I brought my lines up. Now I want to create a fillet. Okay, so I'm going to fillet this to that. I'm not pulling my hair out or anything.
Yeah. Time to move the radio slot.
Alright, cool. So
11/16.
11/16. And since I don't know my conversions, you're gonna have to convert that for me. You know what? Nope, I don't have one like this. See, that's the cool thing about Bentech is they have a conversion chart, so I could just have it up all the time. This one might have it, but to be honest, I haven't used this program as much as I have Bentech, so
right.
I'm not really knocking it.
You guys gotta wait while I Google.
0.688.
Yep. Towards the passenger seat.
Towards the passenger. 0.688. We're gonna enter. I always run it without that machine on the first time, just so I could watch the whole path. So basically, this is kind of our test run. After this, we go ahead and actually turn the machine on. What we're looking for here is gaps, clearances, making sure it doesn't touch doesn't take a dive anywhere. Basically, we just want to see the machine run the process properly without it crashing. After that, we go ahead and flip that switch on and light it up, literally.
So our YouTube channel has been taken over by Skynet. Send it. Still a little warm.
Yeah, it should be.
Radio fits perfect now.
Good enough.
Ah, there we go.
How much is hanging over on this?
Got about an eighth over here that after the tube touches, it goes flat like an extra eighth that can be bent in.
Pretty close there. Could take a little bit more out if we wanted to.
Okay.
Yep. It's like action. Hold on. Too much plate here, bro.
Yeah? Shit.
Alright, hold on.
A lot better.
Can't. It doesn't
The
go.
gap
any,
looks good too.
doesn't go any lower.
Okay. So send it.
If you like it, then it's yours.
I heard send it. So.
Dude, I legit don't know where the fuck your holes are. I know where this one is. We'll start with that. After it was already...
When I brought that NVRO built with the aluminum and I was testing it to show you guys, as I was gonna show you and Jake. Maybe you want to do one first and then recheck. That was pretty quick. I've never used that Chinggis. Tape. I go to get some shit from. He's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't have time today." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I tell him, "I'll be over there Saturday or whatever." He's like, "All right, cool." So then Saturday, he's like, "Hey, where you at?" I'm like, "I'll be over there later than higher."
Cool. So, if you guys are wondering what the heck we've been doing, so we got our Zeus fins, and there's a couple different ways to mount these things. Some of them come with little tabs that you rivet on, and then these sit in flush, like you can see on the hood on the race car. Or what we're doing here, which is a little bit more finish fit and custom. So if we drill the hole and just set it in, it's tapered, looks like shit, doesn't bottom all the way out. But if we use this handy little die that actually pinches it, bevels it, then fits in nice and flush. Looks professional.
Nice.
Pretty sweet.
How's it look on the other side? I think we should run them like that.
Yeah. Maybe.
Race car. Can you give me a close up on those Zeus fasteners?
Yeah.
Let's see how those things look, man. Want to explain how this thing works?
So you got a little dammit that hooks onto a goddammit, and when you turn it, it tightens the whole ching of that.
That's right. That's right. From the boss himself, dude.
So on a serious note, these were the ones that I was telling you guys about with the two little rivets, and you can set them in here. Okay. So there's a little retaining spring that these clip into. The boss just showed up.
Hey, baby, what's up?
You insert it in, and if you can see, it grabs, and then it'll lock. And then you do that, and it pops it out. Because the ones that we run on the hoods and shit, they
have internal
retain
springs?
themselves.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, we're not that fancy.
We aren't that fancy.
Got cotter pins. I'm just kidding.
Alright, so, boom. Nice and flush. round deuce. Sometimes you gotta enable them a little bit, and then boom.
Sheesh.
Pretty easy. If you measure it,
Oh, God damn it.
or put it in the slot. Ooh, we didn't measure this one.
Here, let's just pull the plate this way.
Yeah.
All right, stop recording.
Yeah. That's good from this side. What up? So, dash is somewhat in. Our holes lined up. That's the most important part. Now, we can start figuring out how we want to build this around for the gauges. Well, the one gauge, the Holly. And last time it was basically sitting flat like this. So if you're sitting here looking down on it and you got a steering wheel, it kind of sucks. So ideally we want to mount it up a little bit since we're sitting over it looking down. So that's going to be the next step. And that'll poke into our two little slots. We'll weld it on the sides, weld the back, get our radio hooked up, get our little rocker panel hooked up, our navigation hooked up, and we're styling.
That's right.
So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. That way you guys can stay up with this build, see where we end up with it, see if we actually pull this thing off or not. Maybe it'll start, maybe it won't.
Oh, shit. Dick. What a chingus.